Hello everyone, this is Frankie once again. We are going to be streaming and casting Spiritus versus Noob Alliance phase. Anubis is gonna join me for this game and the next one. So we are on the champion selection. We have missed half of it, but we can see some quite interesting bans and picks. So it's looks like it's gonna be Spiritus who's gonna looks like Looks like it's going to be Sona Taric bot lane from Spiritus and Corki locked in for Essen in the mid lane. And on the other side, Noob Alliance phase is going to be locking in Y for the jungle. And we've seen him play Y like a couple of times, and he played really well in the group stage matches. Mordekaiser, yes, definitely he was hit by Riot, and yes, he's a little bit weaker than he was when he came out and had big numbers of win ratio, but now still played in the competitive and solo queue, but just because of his kit and his ability to just take away one enemy member. hmm So Rise was locked in. I guess this is gonna be a top lane Rise. Very.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. A bit of communication issue there, but we are back. So Anubis, this is you can see the picks locked in. Sona Taric bot lane for
Oh, some
Spiritus.
Hydrovics and the Cannibals. Rice.
Yep. hmm
Noobtown
And
going Rice? That's interesting.
that's gonna be a top lane Rise. Noobtown is going to play Corki, I believe. Or it's gonna be Corki mid lane. Asen plays Corki as well, so yes, it can be anything. They do change around the roles between Asen and Noobtown, so let's see how this one goes. A very interesting jungle pick, Hecarim on. So Tempest Cruel is like he likes to play a lot of Rengar,
So, do we
and
have a Aurelia bot guys? No, Leona Aurelia bot, right?
it can
What?
be a Swain
Nah, no,
bot as well.
Mordekaiser Leona. What the fuck?
Okay, wait, Kratos and Moho is the support. Okay, Saber. I've seen Saber play bot lane and mid lane, so I'm not quite sure where he's gonna go. So Aurelia can be played on the bot side. We've seen with Yumi.
This should be interesting. I've seen
This
Cannibal playing Sona and Rovix bot. They're good to be honest. And I think they were in your game to be honest, right? You
yes.
were playing Elise
I was a lazy.
06.
But I was legendary at the end of the game, so yes.
Pardon my
And
French.
we did win the game, and I lost after that. The next game, never mind. So
Interesting.
I think it's gonna be Mordekaiser and Leona bot. They were really strong back in the day when the old Mordekaiser was there, and the
Yeah,
Mordekaiser
exactly.
used to pick Smite, and they used to farm every camp of the enemy jungle.
Okay,
So
guys,
very
I might abuse, so don't mind. If you,
okay.
even if you do,
But
you
anyone
don't
who
know me,
doesn't
I
know
don't know
who,
you.
yeah, anyone who doesn't know Zenobis, he's the comedian of Pakistani League community. He makes everyone laugh. So yes, I'm sure for those who are watching, it's gonna be an interesting stream.
Or is it? Question mark. Leave the
So
channel.
definitely interesting draft coming from both the teams. Heavy magic damage from Spiritus and lockdown potential from the new alliance phase. So what do you think? Do you have? Let's make predictions. What do you think?
I think if the left team, the Real Mojo team,
Mm-hmm.
if they take their picks right,
Mm-hmm.
they can easily win the team fight. But if they
Easily.
go for team fight, they might lose because they have a lot of CC but low AOE compared
All
to
right.
the cannibals.
Yes. So what I think, Mordekaiser is just gonna take the heaviest, like the most fed guy away from the team fight, anyways. So I think, and
I think he should go for Sona. If he can neglect the Sona CC and kill her, they have really low damage there.
but it's gonna be really hard for him to go
Yep,
through
reach her.
all the members of Spiritus to the Sona who's going to be behind. She's just going to come near you, use her crescendo, and going to go back. She's not going to be there for Mordekaiser to take away.
Yep.
But yes, I'm thinking it's going to be Rise or the Hecarim that he's going to take away. So the remaining members are going to be very in a very weaker spot.
The thing is, if Mordekaiser take Rise into result, Rise can easily 1v1 him.
Yes, that is
So
true.
I don't
Yes.
think he won't do that.
And about
He
this
shouldn't.
Corki, if he takes Corki away, I think Corki has enough escapes and has enough damage after the two items to 1v1 this Mordekaiser. If he's not very like
I
if he's
think
not ahead,
Cork is pretty strong against Irelia early game. So if he
right?
punishes her right,
Hmm.
he might win the lane. If not, Irelia is gonna be a problem.
I think it depends on who plays mid lane better. I'm talking about the junglers here, not the mid laners, because
Exactly, it's all about the jungle for fuck's sake.
exactly.
Vietnam flashback. Sorry.
So for those who are watching, me and Anubis had a game before this.
Fucking. Fuck this shit.
It was a very interesting game. I was on Ezreal.
Uh-huh.
Anubis played
Interesting and quick
his
game.
signature pick, Fiddlestick.
Suck my
Uh,
dick.
it's really nice to watch him play Fiddlestick. Yeah. So
I'm going
pre-6, I
blind.
think pre-6, Sona and Tarek don't have any kill potential. They're just gonna be, hugging the tower
Yep.
and trying to, farm. Sona's going. I'm pretty sure Sona's gonna be running Kleptomancy, and she's just gonna look for, small trades just for the gold and some random
Yep.
items.
I think Hakarim should pressure bot because if their bot gets ahead, they'll be
Hmm.
really annoying. Compared to mid, mid is mid to late game, so there's no point in going mid that much.
Then there's top lane as well, but Rise, who doesn't have enough, like, not much damage in the early game, but he's a late game monster. Um,
Exactly. So I think you should focus bot.
Focus bot, keep them safe and from dying.
Because
Definitely,
Mordekaiser and Leona will go full ham on them.
they will. But old Mordekaiser, don't you think, Anubis, old Mordekaiser had more
Uh,
impact?
to be honest, he had better sustain while in bot lane.
Yes. So he was a better bot laner than
Yep,
let's say
exactly. Better
a
bot
jungler
lane.
or mid or top. And tagged with Leona, he was really strong at level 6. Crazy. He would
Leona,
just,
Zyra,
yeah.
Alistar, everything, man. Everything that had CC.
Uh-huh.
His fucking Q, the third one, it created like 5 to 600 on the second or first level. So
So we
fucking
are on the
insane.
rift. Both teams looking to guard the entry points. Not gonna allow the enemy to place vision.
I might
Which
abuse the red team because I kinda know all of them except SN and Cannibal.
so Essen is a really good ADC. I've played with him solo queue. Tilts easily, but yeah, he has the potential. But
उर्दू में बोलूंगा Psych!
Essen is really good on his signature picks. A lot of people don't know him, but yes, he's played um, good Corki, Anivia. These are some of his pocket picks. So
Okay.
I was playing like when I came into the community, I was playing against Essen's team, and he picked Anivia for two
Uh-huh.
games, and it was a disaster. We could never go onto his backline. No one could. They were just taking the perfect fights in the jungle and all, but we were gold and silvers
Yeah,
back
well,
then.
you know.
So yes, it's gonna be in a standard start. Everybody's gonna start on the same side. Not enough action at level 1.
Exactly. But I think that... Oh, I really missed that farm though.
It's really annoying on Aurelia if you don't get the reset on the
Yep,
queue.
yep, yep. You're
It
like, fuck this shit.
exactly. You just go back and just wait for your queue to come again, and then you can harass and zone or all in. Aurelia is very like well known
Oh,
to all
the
in
direct
the.
missed his stun. Competitive Drox as always. He's a good guy, but
He is
his basic mechanics suck pretty much.
but he does have some game
But he
knowledge.
reached plat for God's sake.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Definitely improving and trying hard.
Yeah. I know him
So,
personally, so he's a good guy.
so this is what I was talking about. The level
Yep,
2
Arila's
all
going
in
ham on him.
by Saber onto the Ascen.
I think
Is
he
he gonna
shouldn't
make it
kill
out
him.
alive?
Oh! Oh!
So he is running teleport. That's why he
Oh!
was not able to pick up a kill. But Ascen
Spicy.
survives with around
I
5%
think
HP.
if Aurelia had Ignite, it was an easy kill.
It was an easy
And
kill.
I
Full.
prefer Ignite on Aurelia mid, even you're playing a team game. Oh, Noobton going huge. Early versus the Swain. Oh, he's gonna die like a little shit.
Didn't account for that. Why?
And
But
he
gonna
survived.
flash away and gonna live.
And
So
Hakaran is gonna
Tempest
wait for
is
the scuttle.
pathing towards top. Oh, he's just gonna pick up the Scuttle Crab.
Hakaran took...
All in on the bot lane. It's not gonna be enough as Kratos was not able to follow that one.
Yep.
A huge wave coming towards Cannibal. So
he's
that's a
missing so
position
much
you don't
farm.
want to fight in.
And Noobton is gonna survive. Yeah, he's gonna survive.
So it was a repeat gank. That's what you
Yeah.
look for when the flash is burned and
Oh,
there are no summoners.
Hakaran is coming, and oh, I think he's gonna go for him. I think
This
he should
was a
have
good
ignited
answer,
him.
but flashed away. Yes, so Flash was able to save both the top laners, but they are both a summoner down. I believe they're going to use the TP to get back in the lane. So it's really a weak spot for both the teams, the top lane.
Okay, so Essen did not flash, and Sober did.
Yep.
And they're gonna engage on Sona.
Real Mojo is going to engage
And
on
he
Sona.
missed his
A very
stun.
squishy
Sona's gonna
member.
flash. Yep.
Yes, a flash is
They
going
can,
to...
if they survive, they have a lot of heal to come back though. Sai heal,
Definitely.
Sona heal.
And Sona also runs the biscuit, so yes, that's a lot of sustain in the bot lane.
Yep. They're gonna run out of mana, you know.
And if everything goes bad, they just have the TP to come back in the lane.
Yeah.
Another stun,
Okay.
another all
Sober's
in.
going in again.
But that was a bit slow reaction from Aston. He just turned around and just stopped there for a moment. I don't know if it was like
the
flash in, and it's not gonna be
The
enough.
double flash though.
Aston is really showing the footwork there. Huge wave coming to his side. Not gonna look for fights.
That bot, all flashes are down. Now Cannibal bot flashes down as well.
So Hava is pathing towards bot, picking up that Scuttle Crab. It's gonna be a Mountain Drake, and they have the priority on the bot and the mid lane.
Yep. Y can pretty much easily do the Drake at level 5.
So Anubis, tell me if I'm right. See this Hecarim pick. If you don't get the early lead, right, and the
That
all
was
in,
exactly what I was thinking. Oh, I think they're gonna go
Cannibal
for the
is
Sona.
in trouble.
They don't
Locked
have any
in once
CC.
again.
I think they're gonna survive. Yep, they're gonna survive. Oh,
Y is
here
walking.
comes the Y. Oh, no, he's gonna survive as well. He has flash, yeah. Oh,
So four members
man,
of New Alliance face are on the bot side, but everybody survives. Even
good
the
rotation
Flash
though.
Cannibal was able to
I was
survive that
I
one.
was thinking exactly the same thing because Lich got that lead so early. He had his movie at minute 4 and he was getting so much done. But if you're on Hakarim and you don't get early lead and you're with Ignite, you're fucked. You're literally fucked. Can't
So
do anything.
if you're the supporter of Spiritus, you do need the lead
Yep.
on this Hecarim, on this Tempest
I think he
duel.
should camp a lane and keep pushing on it. But he's
I think he
more
was doing that
focusing on
right
the
on the
farm.
top lane, but Hava
Yep,
was able
exactly.
to answer that.
He should get Rise ahead. I would go for bot, but if he even get Rise ahead, that's good. But he's farming. That's not a good. I think why should go for the Drake right now after the red. They have complete vision on down there.
They do, and there are very less summoners on the bot side,
Yeah,
just being the
if
TP.
Swain can see the Hecarim, he can call for the Drake. Yeah, he did see him.
But two members of the Spiritus are walking towards top. So they know Y is on the bot side, so they're taking every camp away from the blue side of
I think
Hava.
they're gonna shove bot and do Drake. Why? He's or not.
So blue is going to spawn, and it's going to be really helpful for this Corki to just sit back and farm if he gets the blue from the enemy team.
Sun is playing really safe right now. He's like, this Aurelio is gonna jump over me again.
Yes, he is afraid. He has a flash, so he can really step forward. But
Yeah.
if he's afraid of the jungle,
Oh, there's gonna fight at top. Swin's doing his art. I think he's gonna die. He's ignited. Yep, he's gonna die.
that was
First
the
blood
ignite
goes.
that took him. First blood goes to Tempest Cruel.
That ignite helped a lot though.
So we were just talking about the early lead on this Hecarim. Another
Yep.
all in
Oh. Oh, he
on
missed his E. Nice. I think Hakarim should go again. No, the Swin doesn't have his TP yet. The repeat gank on that teleport.
hmm See, Mordekaiser and Leon are not able to do much. I believe
Yep, exactly.
it's the communication, because as
Senpai
soon
Drovic's
as
team is sustaining better.
yes, as soon as Real Mojo goes in, Kratos is not able to follow at the right time. And last time he was able to land his E, but that was not enough. That was not enough damage to.
Exactly.
So it's a very interesting pick on the bot side from Spiritus, going for that heal and sustain. But again, if this was level, let's say level 10, and he was sitting on 1.5 items, Mordekaiser, this was a
Mm-hmm.
kill on this
Yeah.
Sona definitely. It's just less damage now means they're able to survive that one.
The
But we do
Sona
have the.
is not doing much because she can't put out that much damage because Leona engages on her. So she's like really passive right now. She has 36 farm, which is nothing compared to the Mordekaiser's
Oh, the
70 farm,
SN is
which is a
sitting
bit
on a
worrying.
package and denies a very good
Yep.
recall for Saber. Stun is not gonna connect.
Thing is, Cannibal is getting no farm at all. You know, he's at least 35, 50, 40 farm behind Mordekaiser.
So I'm glad you
The-
mentioned that, Nubis, because see, normally on a Sona Taric bot lane, Taric is the one who farms till Sona gets her.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. That was thinking.
yes, but they started from the Doran's ring, so it's not going to be Taric farming. He's just going to sit back and be a support that he is. Normally in Sona Taric bot lane, you don't see
Yep,
Sona
you should.
farming up until.
Firstly, you get Taric ahead, then you get Sona ahead.
Yeah, that's basically she gets gold from other sources, the trades and the spell thief.
I think
As
they're
soon
gonna
as
go for the Drake. Yep, they're gonna go for the Drake, even though the Hakarim is on bot, and
Saber.
Saber's going back. Okay, they're not going for the Drake this top. And meanwhile, at top, Noobtown is way ahead in his farm as well, and he's pressing top as well.
Yep, that's double from what Candy Panda has.
Noobtown has come a long way.
Definitely, he just touched diamond
Yeah, exactly.
like 2-3 months ago, and that was a good grind when he went diamond. Like he was just playing on other servers and
And
EU West. Didn't talk much to anyone. When he reached diamond, he just posted it on the group. Really interesting.
he ranted about it to me, but I think he had some family issues earlier, so he couldn't focus on the game that much.
But his performance is definitely telling us that he
Yes,
was able to improve and increase his ranks.
exactly.
So they do have, they are dominating Y's blue side. We've seen that over and over again. But I don't know why they're not using the Aurelia's pressure on the mid lane to get to get the hold back onto the blue line.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go for the hell and back down. I think
Nobody has
no,
touched the
no,
Drake.
they're not gonna do for that. The objectives are still safe,
I believe.
but I still think
Mhm.
Mike should go for the solo Drake with the pink ward.
She can do that sitting on that first completed item. Yes,
Yep, exactly, easily.
but again, I believe Noob. This is what I was gonna say, that Noob Alliance phase is like is hesitating against this bot lane just because they have tried so many all ends on this Cannibal and Rovix, but they were not able to pick any kill out of that. I
Uh,
think they're hesitating
to be
to
honest,
make
if
plays on the
that
bot side.
Mordekaiser gets his realize, he's gonna go all in and
It's
might
gonna be a
even
three
get the double
versus
kill.
four
Oh, I
here.
think they're gonna run away.
That was
Oh, I think.
amazing. Oh
Oh,
my god!
oh, okay, that was so bad.
Look down.
What the fuck?
So there was a TP channel by
A little brain lag.
Cannibal. That could have been a,
Oh, Noob. No, no, Noob's gonna run away. Reality is gonna miss.
he misses the
Yeah.
ultimate on Rise. Was not able to take his team out of the Dragon Pit, Baron Pit, and
It was fun.
but there were not much any deaths. Like it's just still 1-1, so
Yeah.
that's fine. I think
But
they burned the
they still managed to
summoners.
get the Herald though.
It could
But the
have
team
been
rotation
better.
is quite good on the blue side.
And even Cannibal was fast enough to TP on on the Herald.
I'm not sure
Plus,
that was a good choice. He could have
hmm
pushed against Mordekaiser,
hmm
but because everyone was dying and he couldn't do anything except do his ult and run away. But if he pushed bot and get some lead and then move to Drake, that would be a better choice.
I can agree to that. So there's gonna be a play on the bot side. Tariq is gonna channel his ultimate.
They're gonna back off.
But this time he had his ultimate to get it back. But next time it won't be the case. So why is sitting on the Shelly, looking for that extra goal or off the plates? If she was gonna use it, this is gonna be a fast recall
They're going
while
to,
Tempest picks up the Drake.
they're going for the mountain.
This is going to be uncontested.
Okay.
What, the TP is being channeled by the Swain.
Oh,
Oh,
what the hell,
it was the Rice.
Johnny?
It was the Rice.
Uncalled for, to be honest.
Yeah, I was expecting a Swain there. If you see where I'm coming from, I was expecting a Swain there,
Yeah.
and the remaining members of Noob Alliance phase would
They
go.
didn't even try to,
It could have been a
meh, jaan
play
de.
because everyone has ultimate ready.
What I think they should do is, blue side, go top, killerize, and open the header. Or
So
even
if
bot, because the Swain has his TP, he can follow up as well.
yes, they have the TP advantage, Candy Panda over Noob Town, but so we have crossed 14 minutes mark where the plates are down. Towers are more weaker now as they
Okay,
were
she opened the herald. They're gonna go for the turret. I think they're gonna dive.
on the bot side.
Yep, I
And
think they're
Tariq is
gonna
not
dive
having
this
his
way.
ultimate.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes, it is on cooldown.
Okay, Noobtown is going again.
It's gonna be 1 versus 1 on the top lane. Nobody dies, everybody backs off.
Oh, that herald is gonna take a huge chunk out of the turret again. Yep. Ah. Blue team is certainly winning when it comes to objectives.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
I
very
think Mod's
messy
gonna
fight.
die.
And Noob Alliance
Oh,
phase.
Mod's gonna die, yeah.
That's not
I
looking good
think
for
Luna's
them.
gonna go as well.
Asan is being
Yep.
untouched and dealing a lot of damage.
Well played by the red team. And that
I
Swain
was
TP didn't do anything. Noobtown's gonna take the turret as well.
I was just watching Asan there, and he was untouched,
Yep.
dealing a lot of damage, throwing every
Exactly,
ability
they
and
were
auto.
focusing Hacker, but Hacker wasn't dying.
Very strong Tempest Druid there. Still on the full HP, the regeneration from the red buff.
The red buff, unfortunately.
So they are going to siege the mid turret. The top was down. Nearly lost the bot turret. So it's going to be 2-1 towers. And a lot of kills. So as I said, blue buff does not belong to Hawa at this point.
Yeah, I think this stole their blue as well. So why? Okay, Aston has his in Triforce power spike.
Yes, first item power spike.
Yep.
And Sona Tariq did not give any kills away, so I'm
Yeah,
really happy to
That's the
see.
best they can do, to be honest, in that bot
Yes,
lane. That's what I wanted in the first game, which we had. Don't fight, just farm and wait for late game. Now let's gank a
Yes.
fucking 2-0 Swain for fuck's sake!
Yes, that's what I was aiming for. Basically, I was on Ezreal and Shozi was on Vayne. So Ezreal versus Vayne. I was just looking for farm and just a bit of poke.
To be honest, if we went after the late game, we might have won with
Yes.
not that much lead.
You had a
But
Jax. Okay, it's gonna be another gank.
exactly. That hacker aim was 6-0 at like 10 minutes, and I was like, I took
Yes.
Zillion because we had a Vayne and a Jax. I was like, let's support him.
It was a good draft, but it focused on the late game.
Yep.
There was
And we fucked
mhm.
early so hard.
There was not enough tools to deal with the early pressure that the other draft had to offer.
That mode pick of ours was questionable in the first game.
Hmm.
Uh, Someone was calling me and they picked it, and I'm like, why do you pick mode so fast? I would
Uh,
like you should go for Malphite or something else.
so it was played on the top side, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking it's gonna be you who will play it. That's what I said. Anubis is gonna play it because you have played it in the past.
I did.
Yes.
I think they picked it for me. Then I
Hmm.
was like, I don't think this is a good idea for me. You picked it without me asking. But that was my bad. I was away for 5 seconds.
We just didn't want to give you two champions, Vel'Koz and Veigar. It would have been cancer for the mid lane. But you,
Thing was, I couldn't go aggressive on a Malzahar. That was the biggest bullshit
issue.
ever.
Yes, yes.
Playing
It was a
against
safe pick.
Malzahar and going aggressive is like, what should I say? I was thinking of going Nico, but Nico's damage falls off late game so much.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You wanted tools for the early game.
Yeah,
Coming back to this game, and the Cloud Dragon Drake is gonna be picked up by Spiritus without any contest. Uh,
SN is scaling quite good. Might deal tons of
I
damage
think
soon enough.
they have passed the initial stages. Now it's gonna be very easy
Oh,
for
they're gonna
Spiritus
dive
to
right
close
here.
out.
Oh, yeah, good stun, but still managed to get
She
hit
doesn't
by
have the flash, so
Hakarimi.
it's not gonna be much. She's gonna clear the minions
Oh, I
before
think
dying.
Hakarimi's gonna die. Oh, he survives.
Again, coming back to Ignite. Very questionable choice of summoners there.
Still effective though. On Hakarim, not Aurelia. Aurelia should
Mhm.
have gone for Ignite.
That's I was talking about Saber here. But yes, as I was saying, Spiritus has passed the initial stages. I think it's not going to be very hard for them to close the game. The the win
Ada.
conditions in the early game were Sonatarek not dying to Hava
Exactly.
ganks, and
Yep. Price
Asan is
going even on the top lane.
and
Um,
Asan
and
like
Essen,
yeah, just
Aurelia should
surviving the
have.
lane, not much.
Yep. I think Aurelia should have stomped Essen if she had Ignite
Yes,
quite easily
she,
because she counters the heal as well.
even though it's a range versus melee matchup, I'm pretty sure Saber on this Aurelia would have zoned Asan away from the CS. So he's just gonna use his ultimate
Ooh.
to get away, move down, cheeky escape.
Still a better escape on the Baron pit. 10 out of 10.
That
Kage
was
Nube,
a setback.
vedna ho to.
But again, 21 minutes, 2 and 6. Very like both the teams are watching and planning every move with care.
The red team skills better, so I think they should do something quick now. Because Sona's getting her items. Essen already has 2 items. I think he's going back.
So their mid laner is Asan is on this AD carry, auto attack based champion. So what else do you need apart from this? Sona and Tarek. You have two supports with you. You have frontline. You have everything that you need. All you need is an Infinity Edge and Rapid Fire to close out this game, Asan. That's it.
Moved down with 8.7k gold total.
Like if I was to play mid lane for a Sona Tarek bot lane, I would go for Lucian and have two AD carries or two supports on the bot lane.
2 mages? Oh,
Sona Tarek. Like when you have two supports on your team, what else do you need?
yep.
Like it's a very good day for SN on this core game.
That's what we were trying
2-0
to
and
do
1.
in our first game, Zillion, and
Yes. Yes.
I wasn't aiming for AP burst. I was making support or defensive
Protect the
items.
ADC. Yeah.
Yep,
I know. Shozi likes to play a lot of that here. Kog'Maw, Vayne, protect the ADC. So
exactly.
I've seen him play that one. So yes, we were going for the early one. So
Anyway, GG, the
Mhm.
better team wins. I
I
think
was thinking
Hecarim
about.
should go for a Stera Gauge right about now.
It's a very slow-paced game as of now, and
They
I
had
think they
early
should.
fights. I think they're
Yes,
gonna fight at the blue. Oh, this stadium.
there are two TPs on
um,
both sides.
if I'm not wrong, I don't think that Zonia and Rise Ulti works right now. If you Zonias and use Rise Ult,
Yeah, it
you,
doesn't work anymore.
it doesn't work anymore. That was broken to be honest.
I believe for it to take you away, for you to teleport, you must be out of combat. I'm not quite sure about that.
I don't think stun or silence stops it maybe.
Eh, I guess it does.
Not the
Only the CC stops it. Yep.
Yep. Sona is going for her Lich Bane, but don't you think a Lurel would be better option right now on her? This late.
It can be, yes, because you don't want to get too close for an auto attack range. You
Exactly,
just want to
exactly.
queue. Yeah, yes, you are
But
right about that.
she has the Taric defending her, so can take that risk.
And they are ahead.
Yep.
It's just a 5,000 gold lead. If Noob Alliance phase are able to see that it's not a big
The
lead
Swain
that
is
they gave
really
away.
far. I don't think they're gonna contest it. Yep, they're gonna leave it. They're gonna go for the mid turret.
So two
SNS
mountain
package.
drakes.
Oh, SN will be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Okay, so let me remind you, Anubis. So when you don't have the DPS that you can have by having an ADC, objectives are kind of hard for you to get.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you have Sonataric bot lane, but just because they were able to pick these dragons, mountain dragons, now the damage on the objectives is going to be more, and it's going to be easy for them now.
They're
So
gonna
it's
tap for the Baron, and I think the Sona saw the Taric.
so
They're
it was
playing
just it
mind
was just
games.
a lucky
They're gonna
day.
go for the Zona. The Hakarim is going for the Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser is gonna be. Swain is
TP is
sleeping
good,
in the mid. All
very
in on the
close.
Sona.
Moho
I
is
think
going to
this is
go
gonna be
back.
a bad fight for red team, to be honest.
Yes, but Taric ult is gonna
Taric
let
is
them
out this
survive.
clutch OP.
Triple kill on this Tempest Cruel, and
Oh, the Taric ulti was so good.
that's what saved them. Otherwise, it was a
Exactly,
clean
exactly.
engage from this
They were gonna
Irelia.
get bursted out.
Hmm.
I think that they're gonna go for the Baron.
Okay, this reminded me of my game against Sculper. He's a very good Tarek.
Piece of shit!
Once we were playing a game and he had to fill for someone, and we never knew that he's a very good Tarek, so we never
He
banned it.
can only play Taric.
Yeah, and then he played the game, and as soon as we used everything that we had before the fight to engage, he used his ultimate, and like we couldn't play around it. We were a new team with very less energy, so yes, we couldn't deal with it. And the next game, I asked my team, "You want to ban this Tarek?" They were like, "Nah, it's not much. You just disengage when he channels the ult. Just disengage. It's a very easy thing to do, but it's not. It's
Exactly.
really not. We let him play second
The
game
second
with
game
this
again,
Tarek.
and he's
Yep, and he raped us again the same way. We were out of the tournament.
okay. The hacker is going strong, 7-1. Yep, he goes for the Stera Gauge because of the front line.
So since then, I've learned never give up comfortable champions. Like just the way we took away Fizz and Veigar from you.
Mm. Yeah, thing is,
Hmm.
I've been out of practice for a long time. I didn't play for
Yes.
like a year and a half, and I just came back. because my exams are over. So I was like, what the hell?
Oh, last time he saved them. This time he is in trouble on
Oh,
a
and
channel,
it's not
and
even able to
he
ult.
yep, he died
He,
before the ult was used. But Saber is looking for
gonna
life
die
there.
again. I think they're gonna
Not gonna be
shove
enough.
mid, take the inhibitor easily.
They took the Tarek away, but they died.
Okay, good catch
Minions
up.
are
Ah, they're gonna go
min.
for the Swain. So it's gonna run away. Noob turn going hugely retarded. Yep, called it.
But yes,
Again, he's
Tempest.
quite fat, so he can do that. He was
Yes,
like,
Tempest
I'm not doing
realized
anything
towers
except farm.
are more important than kills. So
Noob
he's
is
just
one of the most passive mid laners I've ever played against. He's just like farm, 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 farm. He
right.
doesn't risk anything. Slightest danger, he flashes away.
That can be right and wrong. You can never be the judge of that. If he's having results by playing that way, it's the right way.
And he is playing right though.
Hmm.
I remember he placed a rumble against me. I was his early. He was so fucking annoying. He's like, whenever I try to go on him, he's like, I'm out. Like, dude, what are you doing? Till I
I do have
started
that.
roaming.
Mhm. I do have that passive style. Like I'm not
I
aggressive at
know,
all.
I know. We were discussing that Frank is gonna go passive again. I told my team to ban Yumi
Hmm.
because I saw you guys playing Yumi and you had a kind of sync going on,
Hmm.
and they were like Yumi was nerfed. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
whatever you want, guys.
Yumi is not very strong as she was. She was definitely enough.
But
But the
still
thing is,
viable.
mhm.
I think
but the
Essence
thing,
gonna go for the Leona.
but the thing is, our support had high ping, and there was nothing we could do about it. So we just said, you know what, just go
Yeah,
for Yumi,
she has some internet problems.
and she played really well on that.
Yep, exactly.
So
Plays really well, but when she gets tilted, she.
I think it's the case for all of us.
True, true. To be honest, I was really tilted after the first game. I was like, solo queued bitches.
Even Shozi was in a hurry, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I know.
He gave his 100%. So I'm sure you guys could have played a lot better than on your best day than you played in the last game.
Um, the first game,
And
it
even
was really
Musa, he just woke
winnable.
up and joined. Okay, oh,
Oh,
three
that
man
Leona
ult.
ult was
It's
really
gonna be
good. Ty's
crazy
gonna
this
ult
time.
in.
Aurelia
Irelia
ult
misses the ult.
misses,
Irelia's
but
gonna
again
die.
Essen. If you see Essen, he's
Yep,
dealing a
I
lot of
did.
damage.
He's like, man, I'm not gonna get focused. I'm gonna fuck all of you. But they're
Exactly.
still winning.
But Noob Alliance phase was able to,
The
defend this
Leona
one.
ult was really good to be honest.
It was
And
amazing. Real
Mod
Mojo, that
AoE
was
took
amazing.
a really huge chunk out of their team.
Hmm. Definitely.
You have it.
No,
Okay, he's gonna go in and gonna die. That's a really bad dive to be honest.
it wasn't planned really well.
But mid
But
is getting down though. Mid's gonna go. They're gonna go mid and they're gonna take the bot.
that was the reason I believe Tempest Cruel went all in.
But I think the hacker should have waited for mid to get more pushed,
Hmm.
then go in. They could have ended this game.
But if this allows them to get the inhibitor, it's all worth it.
They're gonna
Just
get it
back off.
easily.
Yep. Top is pushing. Mid
Don't you think
is going to be pushed.
Abyssal Mask on Swain is questionable at the moment?
Abyss.
The itemization, the Rod of Ages, Zonia's would have been better to be honest.
Yes, and the changes on the Rod of Ages.
Exactly.
And his team doesn't really have magic damage compared to Spiritus, so I don't think Abyssal
I
Mask.
think Newton is quite fed now. He can easily kill that. Aurelia is Aurelia's placement is really bad. He's always on the front and dying as quickly as possible.
Yes, on Aurelia you
Meanwhile, on
should.
the other side, Essen is placing himself so well.
Yes, and in the last team fight, Aurelia missed her ultimate, so it was.
Exactly, that's
Mhm.
a third time she missed her ult, by the way.
But that one time near the wolves on the blue side, that was amazing. But
Yep.
Taric
To be
ultimate.
honest, that when the Leona ulted, if
Hmm.
Aurelia ulted, that would be so good.
Yes,
Leona ulted like 4 people. They're gonna go. Oh,
Spiritus picks up a Baron. They could have tried to contest that one, but again, they're just gonna choose to defend the turrets
Yeah, exactly.
against this wrecking ball.
Yeah, I really wanted to use Nooktown and Brovex, but they're giving me no choice. They're playing really good.
Where they are playing good. So solo ult was used on Cannibal, but again he's
So
gonna get away using a
last
flash
year
after this.
when we were in Lahore,
Hmm.
Nooktown and Brovex were in the same team, and they were playing, and they were so freaking bad in one game, and I spammed them so much, but they were good guys, and they took
I
the
think
criticism
Cannibal.
and improved. Oh, go Nooktown, you piece of shit! I knew he was gonna do that.
Okay, Jay-Z does that to us,
Good
and
game,
fuck
guys.
you,
Good
Jay-Z,
game.
for that.
Honestly. Okay, FN
It
is
was
really good to
nice.
be honest. I really like to play against him sometime.
Yep, he is. You should see his Navy as well. It's really really
Um,
nice.
I've played against many mid laners in Pakistan,
Hmm.
but the ones who left a mark on me were Hammy, Lich. Yep, that's and Jay Z somewhat as well, but I played against Jay Z long time ago. These are the three mid laners that can give me a hard time. Can give anyone a hard time. To be honest.
Okay, the lobby is ready for the next game.
I
We
think
will.
is Mook here?
Muk should be here. Let me see. Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna take a short break, 2 minutes. We're gonna go set up the lobby for the next one. We'll be back, probably with a new caster or three casters.
Maybe.
But yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.
Glasses.
언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아 견딜 수 없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여 I'm troubling you running it I'm so cold when I move that way you gon' be so blown I'm the realest in the game said I'm on fire with the blade you're about to hear my name ringing in your head like whoa so keep your eyes on me now 무엇을 보던 좋아할 거야 I'm so tough let's get it show you out. Can you feel the rush now? Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 Baby, we are always shining bright.
Oh,
Hello everyone, we are okay.
it looks like we are back, but we are out of the lobby again. I just went live.
So we are live. My YouTube is on, and I'm not live there.
Oh no,
Never
we
mind.
are live. Yeah.
So I believe they want to remake. No champions were banned, so that's okay, I guess. They will start once again as soon as everybody's ready. Uh, Team New. So the last game was played as Spiritus versus Noob Alliance phase, and Spiritus picked up a very clean kill win. So Noob Alliance phase are making a bit of changes. They're gonna be playing with Gar today. Gar, their sixth player, instead of Hawa, who played Y last game, and he did his best, but they went back, planned their next game, and now they're back once again. So I believe they're gonna be performing up slightly better than what they did in the last game. What do you think? Okay, I'm joined by Bigger B, our streamer slash caster for this tournament. So what do you think about this one?
Well,
What should?
I guess it might be a good idea because in the last game we saw a Sonataric lane from Spiritus,
Spiritus?
and it looked like there was really no punish from Nova Alliance's side towards that Sonataric. We saw that the Leona was going in early over and over again, but we didn't really see any jungle attention towards the bot side. And I guess
Hmm.
it's possible that with a new jungler who has more synergy with their bottom side, they might be able to pull something off.
Hmm. But there was a four-man gang onto the Tarek and Sona, but they hardly there was like it was very hard for Noob Alliance to pick up a kill on these two. Very like full of stain, and they also had a TP, so there's not much they can do about the Sona Tarek because they are there to play very passive lane. But
Well,
again,
that's true. I guess the biggest counter to Sonataric is just all in, and they had a bunch of all in. So I'm not sure
hmm
if it was just like a mechanical outplaying
hmm
from Spiritus' side, or if
or
it was
macro.
if it was really just macro and
hmm
maybe
I guess
changing
it
the
was
new
more
player
of
would bring something new.
I believe it was more top, mid, and jungle. They were playing really well, even in the lanes and grouping uh, before, and playing that proactive game. That's what they. That's what allowed them to close the game.
Yep. So it looks like we're having a few issues with some people connecting and some client bugs.
That's normal in Pakistan. If you are living in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, or Pakistan, that's normal, and viewers do understand that. We're gonna be having okay. So we are back in the champion selection. So on the blue side, we have Spiritus now because it swaps in every game. So the first ban from Cannibal is going to be Yorick.
That's an interesting
Split.
ban. I guess they have some information on the top laner who likes to play split pushy type uh,
Okay.
champions.
That is Candy Panda. So I believe he's really very comfortable to have that first ban. So Tarek was banned. We saw how Aurelia tried to engage and she landed very good ultimates, but Tarek's ultimate was um, able to get Spiritus a lead
We have seen
and
other
protection.
combos with Sona, not specifically just Taric. We've seen Sona, Tam Kench,
Yes.
as well as some other combos. So they can still go for that sort of a team, for that sort of a lane if they want to.
Oh, Corky was taken away. It looks like it's gonna be five. It's gonna be Hecarim now and Rise and Sona, I believe.
I
This is
guess,
gonna ban whatever they played last game.
yep, I guess they just went back to the drawing phase and said we're gonna ban all of these champions and then we're gonna play a new game.
But okay, I'm really confused why why they banned Anivia because SN is a very good Anivia player. It's like Faker banning Zed back in the time when when he used to play Zed a lot.
Oh, and you predicted it. It's actually a Hecarim ban.
I think they're gonna ban everything that they then Spiritus played last game. But I think it's gonna stop here. They're just gonna see what they pick and ban the remaining champions. But I'm really excited. I'm really shocked on this Nivea ban. Caitlyn, I do understand a lot of lane bullying capability on this champion, but yeah, not really sure about Nivea.
Maybe
I
they
mean, we
have
know
some
how.
information that we don't have. Maybe it's like we've seen it. Maybe they've seen it work against certain team comps that they're trying to run.
Mhm. I believe they just want to take away the wave clear from Team Noob Alliance. So Nautilus was picked, and it's going to be for Drovix, very tanky and full of CC pick. It's going to be if they're going to go for that, it's going to be a very pick oriented draft for Team Spiritus. But this was answered by Morgana, who is also a pick champion with her bindings. Sejuani is going to be locked in, so they are definitely going for that pick slash team fight uh, draft.
Morgana's also sort of also denies like hard engage into bot lane,
Hmm.
so we're able to run stuff like Ezreal or something to get like a really safe lane.
Hmm. Vayne, very spicy pick. So there's only two things about Vayne. Either you stomp the game or you get stomped hard. I've never seen mid-level Vayne.
So the
Oh,
mid-level Vayne is the Vayne that farms until like 3 items and then sort of tries to outscale you. But we do see a
hmm,
Rengar here. That Rengar's sort of surprising.
no, I did mention that Tempest Cruel is a one-trick pony Rengar main. So yes, he is sitting on his best champion.
Going into the second ban phase here, let's see what Noob Alliance wants to take out. And they are actually taking out the whole previous comp.
I said it. It is on record. So they just have to take Sona away, but they won't just because bot lane is locked in. So that
Yep.
won't be the case anymore. Silas was taken away. Definitely a very strong pick because if you were to pick Silas, and Silas is really strong. It's not really strong now as he was back in the day, but he is stronger than the time when he was really hard nerved. So yes, he has a blue shield on him instead of a gray shield.
Another thing that we've been seeing a lot is
Hmm.
Silas picked as a jungler and specifically into Sejuani. So
But
they
his
might actually be just banning out the counter pick here.
but Bigger B, it's not really strong in the jungle now, just because the shield was changed to magic damage shield, so it doesn't really protect you from the camps in the jungle. So it's not a very good pick. Back to mid lane or top lane, but it's really hard to say how strong he is at the moment. But Mordekaiser weaker than 9.13 or after he was reworked, but it's still strong. His kit, so it was taken away.
We're seeing a cannon pick here, so they're going for a lot of team fight here.
OSN with the cheeky pick. I would go Oriana if I was SN here with the Rengar in the team game.
Oh, they
No,
actually
it's
lock
gonna
in
be.
Heimer. Lane
It's
Kingdom
a.
for the Heimerdinger.
I really think this is a very mixed draft, with a lot of lane control on this Heimerdinger, team fight from this cannon, a pick from this assassin Rengar, and a scaling Vayne in the bot side. And only front line they have is Nautilus. So I'm really.
Yep, I definitely agree with you there. Noob Alliance's
Mhm.
comp definitely makes a lot more sense. They have
It
a
does
good front line. They have a lot of damage in the back line. They have
wave clear.
protection with the Morgana. And they have a lot of CC with the Sejuani, the Lissandra, and the Renekton even.
Yeah, definitely. They have a lot of CC. They have scaling as well. And just because of the Shojin, if Candy Panda is able to pick up a lead on this cannon, it's going to be very scary for them to deal with, and they have a lot of escapes. So it's a very good draft from Nova Lions. They definitely went back and planned their next game. So what do you think? It's going to be a aftershock, Lissandra, or it's going to be Comet on this
So,
Lissandra?
recently we've been seeing more Comet Lysandra, and as well as I've seen some Electric Lysandra. But
Hmm.
Aftershock Lysandra does work still very well. She can still become really tanky for a few seconds and can waste a lot of time
Hmm.
in team fights and can create a lot of zone control.
So that's why this champion is picked, just to provide stall, just like Tarek is. And she just provides, she just buys time for her team to deal damage, basically, or just pick another champion, pick enemy champion,
Yep.
basically with her ultimate. So and a lot of CC. But yes, it's all about those abilities that she needs to hit and standing in the right in the middle of the team fight. So yes, she is really viable, still a viable champion on that aftershock. So I believe, yeah, he can go either. But against this Heimerdinger, I don't think she's gonna be fighting a lot in the mid lane, and they I'm not quite sure how this matchup is, Heimerdinger versus Lissandra. What I'm sure about is that SN is going to have a lot of wave control in the mid lane, but it also depends how the junglers are going to play, because they Gar with Saver can easily pick up Heimer up.
Yep.
Then
I think
plus,
we're going to be seeing the junglers focus a lot towards the top lane because the top lane is really explosive on both sides in this game. Because if the cannon gets ahead, then he's like a team fighting monster, and if the Renekton gets ahead, he can sort of take over the game. So I think
going
there
by
is
going into
going
the
to
side
be,
lane.
yeah, there is going to be a lot of focus on the top side. The mid lane is most probably going to be a bit more of a stally farm type lane because that's just the way Heimerdinger works. He sort
But
of
if they
turns
were
most
to pick,
lanes into, yeah.
mhm, if they but he's not on the teleport, that's gonna hurt him, I believe, because you need teleport on this Heimerdinger just to make him sit on the side lane, and he can join whenever there is a need for him. But yes, if they were going to punish Essen, it's not going to turn out well for Spiritus. And same goes for the Rengar pick. If he doesn't get the lead that he wants in the early game, he's not going to do much in the mid to late game. So it definitely, if that happens, we will be going to the game three, and definitely they would have learned from their mistakes.
The team comps definitely, I'd say, as far as the champ select goes, Noob
It's
Alliance
Nova
FaZe
Lions.
definitely won
Hmm.
this champ select.
Hmm.
Now it's
Definitely.
just on to the execution itself.
See, sometimes
How well they're able to actually execute on the team comp.
execute, definitely. So yes, you can pick the best champion, but if you don't know how to pilot it, it doesn't make it. It doesn't matter. So I've seen a lot of teams pick team fight, heavy team fight. Let's say the same draft that Nova Lions has at the moment, but they don't really time their ultimates in between them, and they don't really execute the draft well enough, and they lose the games. So yes, it all depends on the execution, as you just said. So the game is live. Hopefully there'll be no pause, and we will look some early invade. Both the teams have the tools to invade the enemy jungle, but let's see who has the balls for it.
Both Nautilus and Morgana adept at early invades.
Spirit is looking, they're spreading out just to guard the entry points. I don't see any gags, invades coming in.
Yep, looks like both teams are just going to watch their entrances
Mhm.
and a defensive start from both teams.
So Real Mojo is using Guardian on this Morgana. What do you think about this? Me as a Morgana player, I would go for either a Comet uh, or something else, but not Guardian. Comet is better. You can also go for Airy,
So
summon Airy.
a while back, they nerfed Airy so that it didn't
Hmm.
proc off of dodge multiple times.
Hmm.
So you can proc it twice off of your W, or
Hmm.
and they also nerfed the mana cost on Morgana's W. So a lot of the times Morganas don't really get a lot of harass down in lane using their W in their W and the Comet or the W and the Airy combo. So a lot of the times
Hmm.
with the aggressive all-in lanes, it is actually better to just go for a defensive summoner like the Guardian in this case.
Hmm. I've seen Yumi's going for the Guardian, and of course Rakan and
Yeah,
Braum.
Lux's as
Uh,
well, though
mhm.
I guess Lux support is sort of dead in this patch.
Yes, it did. But still, I've seen on UGG there's people playing Lux still after their nerfs.
I'm gonna
But
have to
again,
look into
everybody
it, but
plays. Mhm.
the nerfs onto the Lux W were really, really bad, and I think they'll just take her out of the support role.
Okay, just because you mentioned it, I think she was only used just because Aftershock was viable on her. But yes, the W Max was really, really broken. Now it's nerfed, as you just said. But again, because she has that damage, she has that poke, and if it works with the Aftershock after the Q, and she can stay and live in the laning phase, I think she's still viable. But again, we'll have to see a lot of games to see how much win ratio does she have in 9.14 or after that. So first gank coming from Spiritus. Okay, the spell shield is gonna save him. Another root binded on the Drovix, gonna flash away. A lot of flashes and heals used Bigger B here, but everybody's gonna survive. Back away. But this was a gank initiated from Spiritus,
That
but
was
they
really
got
well
nothing
played
after.
by Tempest there. He flashed into the bush and jumped out onto the Morgana in order
Hmm.
to defend the
Save.
Nautilus.
Hmm.
So I think that was really well played mechanically by the Rengar, and it really shows that he has a lot of mastery on this champion.
Definitely, that's what we have mentioned over and over again. He's really really comfortable on that champ, and it's just like another solo queue game for him. But definitely, team games are a lot different from them. So we do see top lane going even in this range versus melee matchup. Even Kennen was a bit on hit. Kennen was nerfed a bit. So what I was reading, if I'm not wrong, as long as he has his E on cooldown, he won't be dealing a lot of damage with his autos.
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't
Mhm.
really read through the patch all the way. It looks like
I
there's
will
an
have to
all-in.
double check on that. So it a flashless Nautilus is gonna die. It's got first blood is gonna go to Kratos. It was a really nice binding from Real Mojo there, and Drovix had to respect the fact that he doesn't have the flash, and he's a level down from the enemy bot lane.
It's really interesting. This Xayah Morgana
Hmm.
combo sort of works similar to the classic combos that we used to see Caitlyn Morgana, in which where you have just follow-up CC after follow-up CC. So if either the Morgana Q lands, then the Xayah gets her root off, or if the Xayah root lands, then the Morgana has a free Q to get off, and it's like a whole 4 or 5 seconds of just lockdown CC.
It's the case of who completes who. So yes, you are right about that. It's a very interesting way to look at it. Uh, just the way you compare it to Caitlyn Morgana. Something changed Bigger B, so the Caitlyn and Morgana are not as strong as they were.
I think the arm time on Caitlyn's traps was nerfed. I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
You have to get it
Something
like
did change.
you have to get it like perfectly timed now in order to execute that, but it used to be much easier.
So they separated good Caitlyn players from the greatest Caitlyn players now. So I believe if that's the case, it's still viable. It's just you have to be better at it.
Yeah. And plus Morgana has been like not as strong in the meta for a while now. Because enchanters are so strong and the enchanter items are so strong right now.
So again in this game, just like the last one, we have mountain drakes spawning. So first gank from Gar on the mid lane. Stun is gonna land. 3-man gank. Ultimate's used. He's gonna cleanse away. Rengar is not yet level 6.
That was a really good turnaround by Ashen on the Heimerdinger there.
He just used a lot of summoners to get out. But it was a play initiated by Noble Alliance phase. Just because everyone is gonna back away, this gives the chance to Tempest to pick up this Scuttle Crab on the bot side, gaining a bit of advantage on the jungle. Just like the last game, he is he's after noobs
Looks
blue
like there's
buffs.
going to be a
He's
fight
gonna
here.
smite that. He's gonna smite that away. They were
Oh,
just
that
waiting
was
for the
a
Lissandra to join the fight. Everybody's on very, very low HP bars. He's gonna flash forward. Drovix is gonna use W to get away.
that Nautilus cooldown on the shield just came up at the very perfect timing there,
Hmm.
just to get him out.
Yep.
Otherwise, that was a double kill there. That was a really
That
nice
also.
flank by the Lissandra, and honestly, I think the earlier ultimate that she used sort of made it so that didn't work. If she had that ultimate
Hmm.
there, that was a guaranteed
That
double
was a
kill.
kill. Hmm. Definitely. It was, but the Nautilus was able to bait Lissandra's flash and use the W to get away. That was very, very close. Could have gone like worse.
Could have definitely gone worse for Spiritus. A somewhat slower game this time compared to last game.
It is, but the blue buff was gone to Real Mojo. He's gonna use the spell shield to get away. Rengar has ganked, and what?
I believe
Like this is
Nautilus flash autoed a minion there. I'm not 100% sure.
well, that's not looking good for Spiritus here. Really well played by Kratos there, picking up a kill on Cannibal while he was ganked by the enemies. Tempest Cruel.
And that was
Sh-
Rengar's first ultimate. So Rengar is like one of those junglers that you say his ultimate, like you have a Nocturne or Y. Those
Mhm,
junglers that like to power farm to 6, and then when they get their ultimate, that's when they try to make their impact on the map.
mhm,
So it's really, really important that your first ultimate actually nets you a kill or you get significant advantages off of it.
mhm. It's like the first card you throw out of a deck, and if that's not good, Root is gonna land onto Cannibal, who just came back from the base. Ah, no, the Blade Caller. I believe that's Blade Caller, right?
Yeah,
Not gonna be enough to pick up that kill. Sejuani is waiting in the bush for this Essen, who doesn't have summoners up as of yet. The stun is gonna land. He used his cleanse, but it's not gonna be enough.
I'm
A
not
lot
sure
of
if he
damage
didn't
to go.
have his cleanse earlier, but if he cleansed earlier on the Sejuani ult, maybe he could have
Hmm.
lived there. But honestly, there's so much follow-up CC in that lane
Yeah,
that it'd be really
that's
hard.
that's what I was saying in the champion selection. If they can punish Asan, it's not gonna be good for Spiritus. They had better options than that Heimerdinger, but their draft is really questionable in this game compared to the last one where they had most of the winning lanes.
Oh, that was a really
It
nice black
was
shield.
it was used a bit late, but it was enough to stun Grovix. Real
Bot
Mojo is
lane
showing.
for Bot lane for Noob Alliance phase has been their PowerPoint this game.
Hmm. Nice flash and knock up. They are gonna get away, but after one kill, so Tempest picked up a Shelly, and he's gonna use it for just for the gold advantage in the top lane. Not much. Just pick up the plates.
Yeah, but I was
It's not
talking
gonna be
about
enough for them.
this in an earlier game, actually your game, where I believe it was you guys who had picked up Shelly, but then waited until after 14 minutes in order to put it down, even though you could have put it down earlier. I
Hmm.
think a lot of teams don't actually do this. This is such a big advantage that you can get from Shelly, just the 2 or 3 free plates.
It's actually a lot. If it's used properly, you can get 600 gold out of that.
Yeah,
If the HP is on the right, okay. They desperately want that turret here.
Renekton is going to die, so they're going to get this turret.
Definitely, with a lot of plates. That's a lot of gold for Spiritus right here, and the first turret as well.
Looks like,
That's not the first turret. It's just 1-1
yep,
as of now.
looks like the bottom turret got destroyed first.
Hmm.
For Noble Alliance,
And we do have around 1200 gold difference. Okay,
oh, Morgana
the
actually
bind line is
manages
not
to.
gonna be enough. The ignite is taking. Okay,
I think Kennen was
I-
actually just on the shopping screen there and they didn't realize that he'd been stopped.
that was funny, and I was seriously thought that he's gonna just flash away or something. He has a flash, and he was not that low.
Well, you can see that when Mark gets fed, she goes for this Sonya's early build, and it becomes sort of annoying because she does damage as well, because she's leveling her W second.
Okay, shutdown goes to Tempest, while
Caster
Candy Panda is
Curse.
having trouble in the bot lane. Cannibal is gonna pick up another kill. Tempest is struggling to get away. Three members of Noob Alliance phase are gonna just take that first turret in the top lane, while Asen answers in the mid lane. I think this is going in. The kills are in favor of Noob Alliance phase, but the siege on the towers is in the favor of Spiritus here. They're gonna get 2 for 1.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. Johnny doesn't have the ult. Cannot pick that up. So TP was used by Candy Panda to defend that bot turret as well. So yes, I was wrong about it. They were they managed to save both the turrets while they took the top one down.
And they got all the
Oop.
plates off the top turret as well, so you can see that they're almost around to 1500 gold in the lead right now. Mostly
And
because of
increasing.
those, yeah, mostly because of those turret plates. They got 5 turret plates off of bot and 5 turret plates off top.
That is a lot of gold, Biggerby. So these two teams have played very slow-paced games.
Yeah, compared to our other games of the day, these are very slow paced.
Hmm. They're just taking the time and thinking about every move. In the long series, best of 3 or best of 5 is where you see who is a better team, because you get a lot of time. You play with the champions. You're comfortable with them. You're comfortable with the enemies as well. So it's not just one game to decide everything. So you do have the time. So it really shows which is a better team.
And it also like brings into question your ability to adapt to the series and ability to adapt to the picks as we go
Hmm.
along. Looks
Definitely.
like
So
there's going to be a fight around this Infernal.
Vayne uses her ultimate. Morgana flashes away. Where should have Sejuani ult is used. So and heavy engage from this cannon. Gonna pick up a kill on this Morgana. Sejuani barely makes it out alive. Candy Panda is gonna come in with a double kill. And see the Lissandro passive is gonna do a lot of things for Noble Lion's phase because that is the only thing Lissandro was picked back in the day, and I believe still it's really strong passive because if you kill three members, that is enough. The passive is gonna deal a lot of damage. I call them the White Walkers.
Noble Alliance has so much CC that the Spiritus can't even walk up to the carries. Like you saw Rengar there, Rengar was trying to get onto the Zaya, but the Zaya had ultimate and there was a Renekton, a Sejuani, and a Lissandra standing in front of her. So there
Hmm
was literally no way for the Rengar to get onto the backline. They have so much CC.
Renekton Renekton just flanked to the bot lane of Team Spiritus, while Noobtown with Tempest Cruel went to Noob's bot lane, Noob Alliance's bot lane. So it was an exchange, but Candy Panda really pulled that off, and he dealt a lot of damage along with Saber, whose passive I was just talking about.
And we're looking at that Spear of Shojin Renekton, I believe. That BF is going to
Hmm
build towards that.
I
And
believe I
that's,
mentioned that in the champion selection as well.
yeah, that's a
It's gonna
really,
be
really
really hard. Hmm
big power spike for the Renekton, so he can team fight really, really well and can split push as well.
On the other hand, Noobtown is going for that on-head cannon build. s- uh, Sorry, split push cannon build. So he will be able to answer that Candy Panda's Renekton. Otherwise, if he were just going for the Zonia and Proto build, it would have been hard for the cannon to deal with the pressure from Candy.
Honestly, I don't know if that's a really good idea or not because
The
they might
ultimate
have,
was
yeah, they might have just gone for the full AP build onto Cannon and then just tried to team fight them.
I see where you're coming from. By the way, when we were talking, Sejuani just used her ult in the fog of war. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe someone gave the wrong information, but
I believe
yes.
she was trying to find out the Cannon, but Cannon was like far away from where she aimed it.
hmm So Rengar has pressed R to get Candy Panda, but he's gonna get away.
He's gonna go onto the Morgana, it looks like. The Morgana
See,
has
from what
completed her Zonias, so he can't really go onto her.
see, this is the perfect example of why people don't play Rengar in team games. Like since I've known how different competitive games are, like people always have said that Rengar and Master Yi are the champions that you don't play at the team games.
Yep, they're solo queue up stompers.
Hmm And people really debate around Tryndamere, but I believe it can be used on some situations, but not every time. If you're going for that heavy split push.
Yes, champions like Tryndamere and Yorick, like they require a different sort of playstyle for the whole team. So you really have to coordinate those picks really well with your team in order to make them work.
But again, I'm not really in favor of Rengar being in the competitive scene. That no matter how comfortable you are, it's just they are. I'm just going against what I said in the champion selection, but yeah, it can be punished really really hard, like it is now. I mean, you can be comfortable, you can be really really good on the Rengar or the Master Yi, but again, if enemy is able to punish, there's not much you can do in the game.
Yeah, and it becomes much easier to punish these sort of picks when you're on team like on voice comms with your team
Hmm hmm
because you can sort of always call out the position of the Rengar or the Master Yi or whichever pick you have, and
hmm
that sort of diminishes a lot of their map presence.
Remember the time when you never got any any heads up if the Rengar was in his ult. Okay, engage is good. So they engage on the Nautilus through everything they had onto the noob down. He's gonna die without using his ultimate.
And this looks like it will be a free
Easy Baron.
Baron. And Spiritus looks like they're just going to take the dragon instead.
So someone I knew used to say that once you lose your blue side control, you lose the game. So I believe that's the case for Spiritus today. So it was an easy Baron for Team Noob Alliance phase. I believe by the looks of it, we are going to game 3.
Yep, it does look like it, but obviously they still have to close out the game. And it is going to be somewhat hard sieging versus versus a Heimerdinger.
Definitely. And you can even dive a cannon there because it might go against you. Can backfire really easily with the cannon on Spiritus side. But yes, as you said, Essence Hammerdinger is going to make it hard for them to close out the game. Vayne is still is sitting on one item. That's not looking good for Cannibal in this game.
And she went for the Phantom Dancer first. What do you think about that?
I really think it's not it's questionable. Bigger B. That's all I can say about it because you can go for the blade. That's fine. I've seen a lot of ADCs on Vayne going for the Infinity Edge build, but uh, crit item as the first one. Nah, you can get the attack speed boots, but again, I would never advise anyone to go for the Phantom Dancer as first item or the static shiv. A lot of ADCs go, but I've never done that in my games, and I would never advise anyone to do that.
So Noob Alliance looks like they're trying to set up a 1-3-1. They have Renekton in the bot lane, Lissandra is pushing the top side, and they have a 3-person unit in the mid lane who keeps pushing into this tower. But you can see how hard it is to actually push the tower versus this Heimerdinger, since he just keeps putting down those turrets and he keeps clearing out these waves. Even through the Baron buff, it's really hard.
Yes, I guess you were right about the Hammerdinger, and it's really hard for them to even throw an auto on this turret. Mostly
Yeah, I
it's
don't
the
think they've
it's the
gotten a single auto on this turret yet. Or maybe a couple, but looks like
it's gonna
this
be an all in on the
Cannibal is just
cannibal.
going to.
He's gonna kite away.
Oh!
That is amazing to watch. Cannibal, well played there. He really showed he is comfortable on that champion. Whereas I was just talking about his wrong item choice.
And that sort of just destroys their 1-3-1 as well, so they all have to reset and try to do something else now.
That was well played. I think he has enough gold to buy that to complete that Infinity Edge, and now these two items paired together will be enough for the win to pick up from here.
Yep,
Yes, that
there
was
it
enough.
is.
And she just needs Guinsoo's Rage Blade now to be that late game monster that we all know Vayne is. But this gives the time to new phase to siege mid
Looks
lane.
like Noob is still trying to just do the same thing again.
So Kennen is sitting on that Zonia's now. I believe that they can change the game, but it's too hard. Like I mean, it's not impossible, but it's too hard for Spiritus to come back in this game.
Honestly, I don't think it's that hard because it's only a 4K goal lead, and as time passes, because we've seen already that even with a 22-minute Baron, uh, Noob Alliance was really unable to push into the Heimerdinger here, and they really, and this is just going to get worse and worse as the game goes on, because the Heimerdinger is just going to get more and more wave clear, and until and unless Noob can just ignore the turrets and just dive under the turrets onto the Heimerdinger, it's going to be really hard for them to do anything. Looks like we do see a fight here.
Everybody throwing around their ultimates. Candy Para getting called. Even with the Black Shield, is gonna get away. But Spiritus is gonna disengage because the TP is being channeled and the Morgana was used. Morgana ultimate was used. Cannon is gonna go and deal a lot of damage. Gonna go golden. Not gonna be enough. Kratos with the flash forward picking up triple kill and gonna be an ace for Noob Alliance phase. It was definitely a nice try from Spiritus, but Noob Alliance phase played it really, really well.
Well, that's probably going to be the inhibitor for Noob Alliance.
And an Infernal Drake. An easy inhibitor and an Infernal Drake. So Saber is really successful on this Lissandra pick, as we were just talking about how relevant Aftershock is on Lissandra.
Yep, we saw that in the last team fight. He was on the front line for almost the whole fight, and he managed to survive all the way through it.
Hmm.
And he doesn't even have his Zonias yet, so that's going to be even more annoying once he completes that.
Also, Sejuani was took everything, like she took the whole engage on herself from Nautilus and Tempest. So this gave the chance to other members of Noble Alliance phase to get in and take the remaining damage and deal, you know, win the fight. So the ultimate from Drovix and Tempest were used before the fight even started, and they used uh, both the teams played it really well. I saw Spiritus disengaging on the Morgana ultimate, but someone might have called, "Let's go back in." I believe it was Noobtown who dove in with his ultimate, but it was not enough as Kratos flashed from the backside and pick up all the kills that he did. It's going to be another Baron, an uncontested one for Noble Alliance phase. So this is take two of 131 siege mid.
Honestly, I think Tempest should have tried to go for a steal there. He had his ultimate. Oh no, actually his ultimate was on cooldown. I digress. If he had his ultimate, he
It
could have
still is.
tried to go on for a steal there.
So I was playing a rank game with Tempest, and yes, he stole a stole a Baron. So he's really good at that. Another so okay, this is part two. Candy versus Cannibal. He's gonna flash away, but this time it's gonna be two versus one. A Wildcat appears and for an assist. Mid lane is pushing in.
They should just
They
dive this
desperately.
turret, yeah. Because they know that Rengar was on the bot side, so they should just coordinate with the wave coming in and just
Mhm.
go for this turret.
They don't want to risk it. Asan uses claims to get out of the Sejuani ultimate. A flash forward by Saber gonna root both the members of Team Spiritus and Kratos will finish that off, while the three remaining members of Spiritus are going to defend. But it's not gonna be enough. They will pick up this inhibitor and push the mid lane.
Looks like this Baron was more successful than the last one.
They just came. Okay, so now I believe this is game for Noob Alliance phase. I believe they should just ban this draft that they have, like Noob Alliance did.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a lot of the game was decided in the draft there because the draft from Spiritus was, as you said, in the draft itself, it was really
Hmm.
just staggered everywhere. They had no real team identity, what they wanted to do. One of them wanted to stall, one of them wanted to team fight, one of them wanted to make picks. So it was
I know,
just
right?
a really weird draft.
It was. So the lobby is ready for the game three. This is going to be the deciding game. It's 1-1 now. I'm going to invite you, Bigger B, so we will head back onto the champion selection in no time. We're going to go for a short break before they dive into the champion selection. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Bigger B and Frankie.
fine with the words unsaid, 'cause your soul sings to mine. They intertwine. We show our colors best when they are stained with red, and we move as if we're dancing while everyone falls around us. You and I, you and around us. Left watch me spell. Watch me spell silk. Watch me spell blood.
Five.
Hello everyone, we're back on game 3 and they are on the champion selection. Sides have been swapped, so Spiritus is going to be on the right side now. So first ban goes to Team Noob Alliance phase. They're going to take away the Hecarim, because Tempest Cruel in game 1 showed really dominating performance on that champion, and Anivia was taken away by Noob Alliance phase. Once again, even though Asan is really comfortable on that champion, I really don't see any point banning him. Tarek We also saw in game one how he was able to get, destroy every team fight.
Yeah, I
Same
guess they
for
really
the
don't want to face the Sonataric again, so it's
hmm
pretty much similar balance to the game 2. I guess they don't really want to change anything that worked for them, but we do see a Zaya ban from Spiritus.
yeah, she has a lot of like not a lot, a very good escape tool. So that's why you really don't want it if you have very strong engage. Yorick was also taken away. Right, Amumu. The sad mummy was locked in by Noob the Lion's Face as the first pick. I believe it's going to be a jungle. There's no other lane that he can be played. Apart if you're, if you're really innovating, you can play him in the support. But again, I highly doubt that. It's going to be answered by Drovix. Drovix's Alistar pick. He's really practicing that champion in the solo queue. I was talking to him yesterday. He mentioned how he was practicing the Alistar,
Yeah, the Alistar
the
can
second
work
pick.
really well, especially in like coordinated team environments, because you can set up a lot of team fights and you can set up a lot of ganks with your jungler.
hmm
And speaking of that
And
jungler, we do see the Rek'Sai.
we do see the Rexa, and he so Tempest Cruel is also comfortable on this champion. Very heavy early game potential, whereas Amumu is going to be waiting for that level 6 to really do much in the game. So we were talking about the Alistar, and see, Alistar can be played like in a very different, in very different styles. So he can be the engager. He can also use his W to throw anyone away. If you see Amumu here, if I was playing Alistar, I would throw the Amumu away from the fight as soon as he was looking to engage. And we have all seen Zwen and Mithi playing Alistar and Kalista, I believe. And it was 8 times that Alistar was knocked up and used W on her in the team fight. So the enemy mid laner, who was Oriana, was not able to do anything just because Mithi was so good on his Alistar. So there are many ways you can play the Alistar pick. That's why it was so contested back a season ago.
Yep, a couple of seasons ago. It was
Yeah,
like the S
definitely.
tier support pick.
hmm
But we do see one of the classic picks into Alistar as well. The Braum allows for a similar sort of defensive strategy to exist against the Alistar.
hmm
Puts up that shield when the Alistar goes in so that there isn't a lot of follow-up.
Definitely. So Jinx and Vayne, they both scale into very heavy uh, solo carry style ADCs. Let's see who can get a better lead early on. So Kennen was banned away. I didn't take Kennen as a very strong pick in the last game, just because the other picks were not really strong. But the Canon on its own is really nice in the team setting. But in the last game, I didn't see having a much impact.
I think
So
last game the Cannon was sort of hindered by the fact that his the rest of his team wasn't really built to team fight. So in a team
yep,
fight comp, Cannon really shines when there's a team comp fight built around him to team fight.
yep, I totally agree with that. So Vladimir was locked in, but I believe it's going to be for the top lane.
We see a Cassiopeia pick here. We saw a lot of buffs onto Cassiopeia in this patch, I believe.
hmm And the Lord of Ages changes also kind of acted as a buff for this Cassiopeia.
Yep. And
Right.
the Laui. There's a
Heavy team
spicy
fighting
pick.
champ.
There's a spicy pick.
And the changes on the Alawi also allowed her to rise in the ranks, and she's around S tier, if I'm not wrong. Definitely not below A.
And is he gonna lock in this Vigar? One of his signature picks?
So okay, SN is gonna play Vega. He's gonna be using heal on that one.
It might change. We still have about 40 seconds for people to change the
So,
summoners.
mhm. So Bigger B, why don't I see teleport ADCs in Pakistani scene?
Honestly, I think a lot of the teams don't have that strong of a macro. Like their macro isn't that strong, their rotations aren't that
Hmm.
strong. Generally, you use teleport to try and get like better backs in lane, better buys in
Hmm.
lane, and to make more
Hmm.
rotations around the map.
Hmm.
But honestly, from what I've experienced from my own AD carry and from other AD carries, they don't really know. They don't really know about rotations very much. AD carries tend to be like more micro heavy, and it takes a little while for them to adapt to stuff like this.
Hmm.
So we are going to go into a little break so that we can wait out the spectator delay and also wait out the loading screen. So we'll be back in about 4.5 minutes.
Hello everyone, we are back from the pause and we are on the champion selection. Uh, we are on the Summoner's Rift. So game three, come on, give me an invade this time. So we do see a cleanse on Essen, so Vega, as he was using heal. And Bigger B, I just want to highlight the fact that Saber is very comfortable on this Cassiopeia pick because I've played against him and he was playing Pike Cassiopeia bot in an Indian tournament against me.
Yep,
J-
Cassiopeia
j-
can be really, really strong, especially when you're comfortable on her. And specifically in this patch, they've changed it so that Cassiopeia can cast her W at any range, so that she can put it right underneath her feet as well. So it makes
Really?
her, yeah, it makes her really, really strong.
Okay. And I was not aware of that, and that is a very interesting thing because that's what my issue. Like that's the issue I faced when I was playing Cassiopeia, because it was always thrown, far away from me, and if someone was on the melee range, it wasn't very good. But now if I can decide where to throw it, it's really nice.
Yep, and that's why she's been seeing a lot of play this patch.
Hmm.
Looks
It's
like
really
we're
good to
going to
see
see
Cassiopeia
the
coming back.
junglers starting at different sides of the map.
I also like the fact that she's the only champion that doesn't buy boots and can build an extra item on that slot.
How is Cassiopeia going to buy boots? She has no feet.
Yeah, but back in the day, you could buy. I remember buying the red upgrade on the boots, so you got movement speed on every E that you threw. That was also used on the ADCs. Like
Yeah, I remember the time when
it
we
worked
used to
as
have upgrades on the boots.
yeah, when you had home guard on your boots.
Yep. And the Hecarim strategy of him going top lane and buying home guard boots at 5 minutes and then teleporting bot. Do you
Yes,
remember
definitely a
that?
lot of yes, a lot of strategies back. But yeah, I really think that was really nice to have an upgrade on your boots to meet the game requirements. Like if you were really behind, you could buy the home guard. But now everybody has it. It's a lot easier now.
Yep.
That's what a lot of people say that they have made League of Legends noob friendly. It's a lot easier as it was back in season 3 or 4. But
So
still, some
looks
people
like,
would never change.
yeah, looks like another really slow start from both teams. We've seen that in both games. Both teams are not really willing to take any risks in the early game.
And this being the last game of the series, they will definitely play it slower than the previous two games. Like queue forward from the Kratos. Not gonna land any auto attacks. Sejuani, Rek'Sai is
Alexa
looking
is
for a
looking for
gank in the.
gank.
Okay, Condemn was landed. It's gonna be a knockup on Real Mojo. Ignite was gonna land. Heal was used. Flash was used. He's gonna live today.
That's two
So
summoners
Amumu,
burned.
Amumu saw the opportunity and invaded the red side, but he's not gonna find any camp over there. Sejuani, I keep on saying Sejuani. Rek'Sai has a very good clear, so there's not much for Amumu to take as of now. He could have looked towards top lane, but Noobtown has kept the wave in a very good spot.
Yeah. So Sejuani's pathing was that she started from the top side, so that's why there was nothing in the top side jungle. And then she cleared downwards and then looked for a gank bot.
Even he said Sejuani, I believe.
Yeah, I think I said Sejuani as well. You're infecting me.
So I have this thing, okay? I have this thing. So anytime you see an Evelyn in the game, I'll say Elise, and vice versa, okay? So that this is I have this issue. So please ignore me.
Okay, we'll try and remember her name now. It's Rek'Sai.
Definitely. So yes, Cannibal is very comfortable on this Jinx, and he 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 kind of mains her a lot of games on the solo queue, and even in the past tournaments. So first Drake is going to be Ocean Drake on the line. Amumu is pathing towards spot. Look like he's going to be spotted by the red ward over there. Pings are down. He is spotted, but see, I mean, Bigger B, you know he's there. You could have backed away before that, before using your flash, before having to commit your flash.
Yeah, honestly, I think, but I think it was good timing from the Braum. He W'd onto a minion and then tagged Alistar with a Q, which made that he couldn't really back off really quickly. But yeah, you're right. They did have full information on the Amumu and they should have backed off a bit earlier.
Definitely, he could have used that flash to engage when the next time Rek'Sai, not Sejuani, was gonna gank bot lane. So the huge wave coming towards Cannibal, he's gonna pick that off, and this gave the chance to Amumu invade the blue side of Tempest. Again, he's not gonna find much. A lot of vision on the side of on the blue side of Amumu's jungle, as you can see, but there are many tunnels as well. There's like 3 or 4 wards around with the scuttle crab. He's gonna look. He's looking for a gank onto Candy Panda.
Candy Panda is 6. He can turn around with his
You
ultimate.
ne Definitely you never gank a in Illaoi. It's like the scariest champion in League of Legends after Mordekaiser.
Well, Mordekaiser just turns it into 1v1. Alawi just takes the 2v1.
Exactly. Even the 3v1, like she never hesitates. The kit allows her for that. Perfect body block by this Alistar.
Neither
They're
support is
trading
6
really,
yet.
really. But the trade was really well for both the teams.
Yeah,
They
they traded
executed.
mostly equally as well. Both
Mhm.
supports got junked.
Even in the top lane, it was 1 for 1. But if you see from like like from a bigger if you see the bigger picture, it didn't work out well for Spiritus. But again, it was really well played by Candy Panda. So if you see, Tempest Cruel is really forcing Amumu to do the vertical jungling here. Like he's always on his blue side. Even in the game one that we saw, uh, it was Hava, I believe, on the Y, and he never got his blue buffs. It's gonna be a repeat gang onto the Candy Panda, a knock up, followed by a flash by a Candy Panda. He's gonna live today to tell the story.
Honestly, I think Tempest could have gone for the ultimate because I think Alawi was in kill range there, or very close to it. One more auto plus ultimate would have killed her, and she had no ultimate. So I don't know why he didn't press R.
Maybe he's just scared because what happened last time. And ultimate from Candy Panda is live, so I believe
It wasn't live when they were diving onto him.
like maybe Tempest had his issues. But again, Saber doing really well. Or going even against this Veigar. I believe it's really Veigar favorite matchup in the mid lane. But
I'm
again,
not
if
100% sure, but Veigar generally does tend to do well into most matchups.
yeah, because he never does anything.
Yeah, he just farms, so he just turns it mostly into like a farm lane.
He's like the mid lane Nasus.
Yeah,
You can.
basically. We've been seeing
It's
more
gonna be.
Veigar in like the professional leagues as well.
Oh, I
He's
remember
been
when
gaining
the
more popularity over
when
the past
I
couple of
guess
months.
Incarnation joined, and now a lot of people might know him as Jensen, I believe.
Yeah,
So
well,
Incarnation,
Incarnation was like a Veigar one trick at one point, I believe.
yeah. So he played a lot of Vega back in the day when he joined Cloud9. That was really well played by Gar XD. He waited for the pool to go go off, and then he can
But
use
he
his
did
Q.
ult while the pool was on. I believe the pool was on before Amomo ulted there.
Okay, maybe I missed that. Too tired of casting these boring games. Slow-paced games, I must say. Sorry, the wrong word was used.
The truth comes out.
Okay, Cannibal is gonna disconnect with a pause. Let's see what the viewers are saying, if there are any viewers.
Well, there are
17.
viewers, but the chat seems dead. I guess everyone else is bored as well.
Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing? First game, Yumna, so it's 1-1. I think we need Mook.
Muk was having internet issues, unfortunately. Otherwise, he'd be here to cast.
BXN is from EU, so actually, correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe he might be talking about the Veigar. I think Bjergsen also played Veigar recently.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, the Discord is.
Oh, the Discord's lagging. Wait. Okay, it should be
Hello?
back now.
Hello?
It should be
Yep,
back now.
you're back. hmm So what I was saying is, and North America doesn't have any good mid laners. All of them are from either EU or Korea.
Well, I guess the best North American mid laner is Belter.
I guess I don't really watch the competitive scene anymore as I used to. So there is a lot of fighting going on here and there after the pause, and Veigar is going to pick up a kill on Saber.
A bunch of mechanical
I'm,
misplays there
I'm,
from both
I'm not quite
teams.
sure what happened there. Can we get a replay of that one?
Yeah, we can try. Let me try going back on that. Yeah. So let's go
Okay, so
back
it was a
further.
very. Mhm.
So
So it was a gank onto the Saber. Two
yeah,
flashes were used,
two flashes were used, none of them
and
connected.
we're watching top. Okay, a knock up onto the Amomo. There's a lot of damage on the Amomo, and and he was frustrated. Use his arm, and Rek'Sai followed. Easy kill for Veigar. And a lot of fighting happening on the bot lane as well.
I guess the pause sort of made these teams fight.
I guess they're bored as well. So Ocean Drake is gonna go first. Drake is gonna go to Spiritus.
And this is something that I was talking about with Mok earlier, I believe, was that the Ocean Drake, if taken really early, it's powerful. But once your laning phase is almost over, like we are at 12 minutes right now, the laning phase is sort of over by about 14 minutes. Um, Once the laning phase is over, the Ocean doesn't really give you too much value, I think.
So every dragon is good for certain drafts and champions. So you can not say any dragon is useless. So I've heard a lot of players saying this dragon is useless, or only go for the infernal one. But no, every dragon has its own value. and what it can do for your draft of champions. So yes, Ocean Drake. If let's say I was playing Ezreal on Ezreal, and like we need to sustain that mana regeneration, and we are fighting in every lane, trading back and forth. So we do need that Ocean Drake. And you're talking about the early. See, it's equally important even in the late game if you're looking for that siege. If you talk about last game where they were doing a 1-3-1 every time, those are the moments where three ocean drakes or two ocean drakes are really gonna shine and gonna benefit you. So I think
Absolutely.
both like and even the cloud drakes really good for rotations. And if you have a lot of ocean drakes, you can count the number of times you went back in a game. They will be a lot less with the ocean drakes compared to when you don't have them. It's just my thinking. It might be wrong.
Definitely.
Hmm. So Gar XD is gonna be is looking for a gank, waiting in the bush. I think Drobix is gonna fall for that one. Yep, but he's gonna go away. He's just gonna ward and go away.
This Veigar with the Hextech GLP build. That
Okay, that
that
ultimate even did not
stopwatch
tilt.
was that stopwatch
Yes,
was sort of nutty. What the hell? I don't know if
I
that
think
was if that was actually reactions, because if that was reactions, that was insane.
it was insane. That's what I was thinking. But I think he could have walked away, but I'm not sure without using the stopwatch, and he could have used a stopwatch in a situation like this one. So Momo misses the Q, flashes forward to land that ultimate, no follow up, and he is just gonna die to Noob Town while Saber is struggling to live. Okay, Noob Town is gonna steal that kill away from Tempest Cruel, but it's gonna be an easy Herald for Team Spiritus. 4-1,
Looks like that
really
was
building that.
a stopwatch from the Brom. I'm not sure what he used that on.
Something might have happened at the bot lane, but they all are full HP, so. Hello.
We're past the point of turret plate, so there's no extra gold to be had, but this is going to be the first turret in the mid lane for Veigar, and Shelly is going to get another charge off as well. So extra damage on the mid lane.
It's 5,000 gold lead on the side of Spiritus. Again, a very slow paced game. So SN is on Glacial Augment. Very good
Yeah, that's what
build
I
path.
was trying to talk about earlier as well.
Hmm.
The Hextech GLP, and then he's probably going to go for the
Twin
Spooky
Shadows.
Ghosts, Twin Shadows.
Hmm. Uh, when I used to play Twisted Fate back in season 3, Twisted Fate, like, it was a core item, core third, like, you can say a third item that every Twisted Fate would build. Just to use the Twin Shadows ultimate, use the ultimate, go beside the guy, catch him, stun, and easy kill for you. So I've really built that every game I used to play. But
Yeah,
again, we had
he
zero
used to
knowledge
give
of
a
the
lot
game.
of AP as well at that point, I think.
Hmm. It was a go-to item for all the Twisted Fate players. I'm not sure about the other champions, but that's something I built on Twisted Fate a lot. Not gonna be a dive from Noob Town. Just gonna let them recall. SN is walking towards top. Gonna look for that dive in the top and the bot lane. Vayne is in trouble, and he use ult to get a win. Drovix is gonna fall. Uh, he was tanking the turret for a long time.
Jinx flashed there. I don't know what. She really didn't have to flash there, but they do get 2 kills uh, in trade for only
Was
one.
wasn't she wasn't she tanking the turret?
No,
and then it moved on to the.
Alistair was tanking the turret all the way through that dive, I'm pretty sure. He engaged with his ultimate, and then he was just tanking all the way through that dive.
Maybe he just got scared and he was like, I just wanna go home. So there's another Drake live, Cloud Drake. This can be good for any team because it's gonna give the movement speed in and out of the combat, and for that engages or disengages. So it really helps anyone really.
Absolutely. Looks like it is
It's
going to
gonna
go
go
to Noob Alliance.
an easy one.
And there is the Twin Shadows we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's even it's a lot stronger with the glacial augment. I believe when the glacial augment just came out, it was used on Nar for some reason.
Glacial Augment used to be different, I'm pretty sure. Glacial Augment used to be so that each of your autos slowed for a really large amount. I
Hmm.
think it was something like 40%, but then they changed it so that it slowed on your autos every 4 seconds or so, and then
Hmm.
every item that has a slow on it, it
Hmm.
causes the slow trails to appear.
Right.
So since then, this
So
build has been really popular on mages like Veigar and Ari and stuff like that.
hmm I also built it on Morgana mid lane.
Yeah, Morgana mid lane used to be really strong until they nerfed her W mana costs.
Okay, but Faker plays a lot of Morgana mid glacial augment path, and it's really strong. I've tried it in my rank games, and it was really nice. I've seen Portal Esports playing Morgana bot lane with the glacial as the keystone. I've also seen
I've
Fnatic doing that.
Yeah, there's teams have been doing a lot of different things, and we
Hmm.
see a team fight in the bottom lane here.
Easy kill for us in there.
Yep, looks like
See
Alistar
now.
is going to die as
I think
well.
I was right about this Veigar and Cassiopeia matchup. So Veigar is doing a lot of things for his team, whereas if you see Saber, he's not able to do much on this Cassiopeia.
Yep. As we were talking about the bot lane, I was saying that I've seen a lot of teams run stuff like double mages bot lane with both of them running Glacial Augment, and that's been uh, that's been something that that top tier teams have been trying out.
Hmm. I was just watching a video today, just because you're talking about innovative picks in the bot lane. So there's instead of Taric and Sona bot lane, now we see Tam Kench as you mentioned in the last game, I guess, and we also see Victor and Tam Kench. So it's a lot, but I'm not sure how Tom Kench changes in 9.14 are going to affect his bot lane pick rate. So I'm not really sure about that, but I have seen that they are something, you know, these are the things they are playing in the Korean scene.
Yeah, but Korean scene really loves Tahm Kench for whatever reason. They like it doesn't matter what you do to Tahm Kench, they're gonna pick him.
There might be a reason for that, Bigger B. So okay, what's the most important thing in League of Legends? I would say CC.
Yeah, probably inside of a team comp,
Yeah.
CC is
Hmm.
probably the most important thing.
Okay. So when you land all that CC, Tompkin just devours you and takes you away. So that's why I think he's the most favored champion in competitive scene
We've seen it.
because. Mhm,
We've seen counters into it as well, and I think it's not that popular in the Western regions in competitive play, especially.
mhm.
Like Europe barely ever picks it, and North America
Mhm.
barely ever picks it, but it seems to be really popular in Korea for whatever reason.
So they're waiting on the bush. I think there's gonna be a big fight if they move forward, but no, they're just gonna back away.
Looks like they're just gonna set up for this dragon. It is a mountain. The Veigar stun
His stun is
lands.
gonna land on the Candy Panda. He's gonna be bursted in a matter of seconds. Flash forward by Tempest. Gonna pick up Gar, I would say. And a huge team fight. Down picks up a
Big team
kill
fight
on
from Jinx and
real Moho.
Vladimir. Both remain untouched. Jinx just runs through all of the carries. Rek'Sai goes on to the
This is the dive you were
Cassio.
talking about in the top lane.
Yeah, this was sort of basically what Rek'Sai does.
Hmm.
And this is most probably going to give them both the dragon and the mid inhibitor. It might be too
This
it might be too greedy to go for the Baron right now, but it'll definitely give them a lot of map pressure.
looking at the numbers in the top and mid lane of Team Spiritus, I think the game is decided as of now.
Yep,
The
definitely.
Rek'Sai, Tempest Cruel on this Rek'Sai really played around mid and bot, or mid and top, and bot did really well against Kratos and Moho. I don't know why does it have to be a stomp bigger B? Like game one, Spiritus stomped. Game two, it backfired. Their draft backfired, and then game three they're stomping again. Like why does it have to be a stomp? Why can't it be a very head-to-head equal, like
I think
full of action game?
a lot of this thing is, as we see actually, Noob Alliance managed to take the Baron, as we were talking about that. They managed to sneak it.
This is a this is a desperate play, but it really turned out well for Noob Alliance face.
As we were talking about the stompiness of the game,
Hmm.
well, basically, I think the whole game, the way the preseason changes with the turret plating turned out, there's just so much gold in the game that whichever team is winning just sort of just gets so much gold off the map without having to get kills that they sort of snowball and just end the game.
Right.
And we see this even in like the highest tiers of play that games are much more stompy and much more snowbally. Um,
Hmm.
we've
But
we used to see in
like,
previous seasons that the pro games especially would last for 40 minutes or 45 minutes, but nowadays they're not really
mhm.
that close. They generally tend to be stomps for either side.
So I think they were trying to shorten the game time, average game time, but they changed, like they fucked up in many ways.
Well, it's Riot we're talking about here, so
Yeah,
that
they do have
shouldn't
a habit
really
of
be.
fucking up.
They shouldn't
Yeah,
really
I was
be.
out. I was just trying to look for words, but I was out. Speaking of fuck ups, they did a terrible thing after 9.14, and it was crazy. I was thinking about delaying the tournament for a week, postponing all the games, but I believe you told me to do that.
Yeah, so I saw a writer had posted that they were going to hotfix a bunch of the issues that the patch was having.
There were 69 bugs, I guess.
Yeah, there were more than that. The 69 bug list was like compiled on Reddit, but there were more bugs than that. I think most of them were related to one or two things, so they did manage to fix most of them. So it didn't
Hmm.
really end up becoming too much, but it was like a pretty buggy patch on release.
Was it because of the ranked in TFT?
No, I think they said that it was mostly because of the new death recall, or what do you call it?
Hmm.
Yeah, death recall, right?
Recap.
Recap,
Yeah.
yeah. It was mostly because of that, actually.
Hmm.
I missed my freelo. I wanted that freelo with Annie. Did
Oh, what happened to Annie?
Annie had an infinite stun?
Really?
Yeah. Her stun
Oh.
never expired.
And if I'm not wrong, you play a lot of Annie.
Yeah, I'm basically an Annie one trick in solo queue.
Oh,
I missed my freelo.
that is sad. Press F, please. Okay, they are looking to form a death something, but
They're
it didn't
just
work
looking to
as
group
they
up
planned it.
and try to push down this
Yeah,
turret.
but if it was if it was a push, I would say a death push, but they were just standing there as five members. So Spiritus is just looking for ways to end the game with the mid lane open. They're now looking for the bot side.
The Baron that Noob Alliance managed to secure sort of took a lot of steam out of Spiritus's push because that was basically what they were trying to do. They were trying to take the dragon and then move over to the Baron. That was supposed to be their like their play to take the Baron and then start sieging. But since Noob Alliance got the Baron, that sort of stalled out a lot of their plans.
Definitely, Baron is a game closer for a lot of teams, every team. So in my games, just before this series, we were trying to end the game without a Baron. I believe we did end one game without a Baron, but I'm not quite sure about. But yeah, this is something we were trying. Let's end the game without the Baron. That's gonna be interesting.
But honestly, Frankie, the team who were against you were really not trying to stall at all. They were just trying to fight you over and over again, so it wasn't really that hard.
It there was a reason to that. The reason was Shozi, their ADC, had to go somewhere, so he was really trying to finish the game. And I'm sure he's a better ADC than what like the level of performance he showed. He could have achieved more than that.
Honestly, well, from what I saw of the games, it was mostly just a top mismatch. Their top laner was just getting destroyed a lot of the times.
And even in the mid lane, we had a very defensive pick, and Shozi with his aggressive play style, he couldn't do much against Judgment's safe Malzahar pick.
Yep.
So yes, Jay-Z could not join us today, so we had to bring in a sub just because we had just five members. So yeah, this was the issue today, but I'm sure Jay-Z is going to be joining us for the next games. So looks like there is going to be a fight before this Baron. So it is do or die for Noble Alliance phase, and this is not just for a game. This is for the tournament journey.
Yep, looks like this is
Teams
going to be the final team fight here, or they're
SN
just
is
going
zoning
to
the
give up.
Mumu away. He's looking for it. Okay, he's gonna land a good ultimate, but Rexa is gonna finish that off with the Twin Shadows slow on Team Noob Alliance phase. Cannibal is dead with Eli picking up double kill, but as I said, top and mid, they're just gonna close the game
Yep,
using
this will
the
most
lead on.
probably be the end of the game here. Lookdown and Tempest and Asen will push in and take the Nexus.
So the bot lane is of Team Spiritus, died to the Loi, but again the huge lead on Vagar and Vladimir was enough to grab a victory, and this was dull casting by Beggar B and me.
Well, it
Yes,
was a
please.
dull game, so what can we do? The game really
let's
didn't
have a
give
look.
us much chance to do anything.
Let's have a look at the damage graphs, and we'll call it a day. And we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be just streaming one series out of the two. It'll be Lanka Lions versus Bronze for Smurfs. We're going to be streaming that one only. So it was the highest damage was dealt by Ilawi. No surprise. But on the side of Team Spiritus, no surprise again. I wasn't expecting anyone else to deal more damage by looking at the
The
numbers.
Rek'Sai damage was honestly sort of surprising.
I believe he was the one who got the lead for the remaining members. So I believe in doing that, he achieved those numbers. So that's why it wasn't much of a surprise for me. But again, it was nice games. Slow paced, but nice games, of course. Journey ends here for Team Noob Alliance Face. Thank you for joining. They are a Sri Lankan team. We hope to see you in the next tournaments. Really well played in the first two games. It could have been better in the third one. Uh, okay. Thank you all for watching. This is me and Bigger B signing off. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.